Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, standing here with Brian T, actor extraordinaire. Seen you in a lot of places lately, but we're here at an MMA fight, and I want to see you growing up. Did you get in a lot of fights?
Growing up, no.
What do you mean, no?
I was a lover, not a fighter.
Ah, come on, get out of here.
I don't know. I was a soch as a growing up in high school and stuff like that. I played a bunch of sports and just got along with people. Like, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. There'll be some like rough housing or whatever, some house party fights, and kids just being stupid. But I don't know. You do as kids, but I wouldn't say a lot. I wouldn't say a little.
So, you did a lot of sports. Did you come from a typical Asian family where they told you, study, be a doctor, do this, do that, or you kind of had free range to do what you want to do and really pursue what you wanted to pursue?
Well, I guess yes and no. I did come from a very traditional Asian background, but my mom was very liberal. She wanted me to be the doctor or the lawyer. My brother became the doctor, and I was supposed to be groomed to be the lawyer. And then when I became an actor, she was like, fallback plan, yada yada yada. So yeah, she's definitely always my number one fan and definitely a huge support. But I did not ride her path in the path that she wanted me to go. So sorry, Mom. It's working out, right?
I was gonna say, I bet she's probably happy now.
Yeah, I could play a doctor or a lawyer on TV or a movie or something like that.
Here at an MMA event, and you growing up, was there any fighters in particular that you liked? Did you like boxing? Did you like MMA? Talk to me a little bit about that.
To be honest, when I was growing up, I was a huge Tyson fan. When Tyson was like in his prime coming up, just killing people in like 18 seconds, that was unbelievable. That's when I really the whole kind of fighting world kind of came in me and stuff like that too. And then, would always watch all the boxing fights and anything that you can get on HBO and all this other stuff. And then when this came about, like I was there to watch the first one. And the first kind of octagon fight was, they didn't have weight classes. It was all open. They had this giant sumo guy, and then they had this like smaller, skinnier guy, and then they had the jiu-jitsus and all this other stuff. And it was like free reign. It wasn't yet a sport. It was almost like an idea, like who was the toughest, baddest fighter. And I think at the time, Hoist won that one. So yeah, that kind of sparked the whole like MMA thing for me. But now, obviously, they've made it much more of a sport, and these guys are like so amazing and just completely unbelievable athletes. I got nothing but respect for them.
What was like your most memorable Tyson fight? One that you just absolutely were like depressed, sad, or like absolutely like, oh my god, like Tyson just killed this fool.
I didn't actually see the one when he actually got busted by Douglas, but I saw the one, and I don't know why I liked it so much, but when he fought Spinks, because it was like literally the most, it was the most touted, most like hyped up fight ever. And as soon as he walked in the ring, he just had typical Tyson. He has like his black shoes, literally black boxers, and a towel with a hole in it. Walks in, and you could just see Spinks like literally just purely by looking at the guy just get in himself and just like crushed down. And I think it was something like 18 seconds. It wasn't even long. I don't know what it was, but like literally him just walking into a ring and intimidating someone just by.
He's an intimidating guy even now.
Even now, absolutely, But in his prime, he was a monster, and he was a beast, and he was, the baddest, fastest puncher like alive. So that fight, I was just like, he's like at the time another class, like beyond. Totally.
I know you do some movies from time to time, I know you got one coming out, Wolverine. During the filming of the movie, to you, what stuck out the most with your cast members? Nothing, on screen, because you're in character on screen and everything like that, but off the screen, was there something in particular that really stuck out to you, like a memory or a moment?
Actually, yeah, this past film. I think when you're on a film, especially if you're traveling for a certain amount of time with a small group of people, especially your cast members, even the crew and everybody else, you create this bond, whether it's 1 month, 4 months, as long as the shoot might be. And, you really feel like you guys are on the same team in a sense, when it's really good. But speaking of moments, I just did this Wolverine, the movie, that'll be out July 26th. And Hiroyuki Sanada is one of the antagonists in the movie. I had a couple scenes with him, got to spend a lot of time with him. We shot in Australia, We did about a week in Japan. Well, maybe a little bit more, maybe about 3 weeks in Japan. Anyway, long story short, there was this giant scene, and I won't get into the details, but there were a lot of extras, you know, working their butts off in the middle of summer. It's humid and it's hot, and these are all Japanese extras. And sometimes, like, there would be moments where they would cut, reset, and then, like, they're like, okay, havoc is happening, and then they're like giving it their all, and there had to have been 300 of them, right? So we basically wrapped the sequence, meaning like, okay, we don't have to do this part of the movie anymore. So all of the extras were basically done with their work, and they weren't coming back the next day and all this other stuff. Hiroyuki Sanada stood basically at the entrance where everyone was basically exiting, hugged and shook each one of their hands and thanked them for their efforts. And that just shows to me what an amazing gentleman this man is, you know, and that's just pure class. And, you know, in Hollywood, you get all the bad stories about what actors or celebrities, like, do wrong. And you never really hear those stories about what they do right, you know, and what they kind of do, kind of going above and beyond what they even need to, you know. And when I saw that, it was just, it totally touched my heart. And I go, if there's anyone that I want to emulate as far as being off the camera, you know, is to hold that respect and that class towards others. Because, you know, we're just fortunate enough to do what we love to do at a very high level, you know what I mean? But it doesn't make us any better than anybody. So to treat someone with that equal sentimentality, you know, to thank them for their efforts, you know, as well as your own, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Wow, that's really cool. That's really humbling as well. Is there going to be a sequel to this thing? And is you're going to come back?
To the Wolverine? I don't know. I mean, it's coming out July 26th. Is there going to be a sequel? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? But please check it out. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be one of the biggest, baddest, you know, summer blockbuster movies you'll ever see.
Brian, you're a good dude. Thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.